page.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up. All right, so this is the Grail Quest List review with me, Jacob Brandon, and Matt Beasley. Both of us are foul. We're both attending, and we're gonna go over the round one pairings and also a few of the lists that were posted by the people that made them public, and just analyze like what we like and what we don't like. And so one of the catches is this is a Swedish comp tournament. So what it does is each unit or model will have a secondary score that is a negative and R plus on some rare occasions. And you start with 300 points, and your comp has to fall between a 160 and a 100, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to fall range. You can fall actually above a 160, but if you do, you only get the benefits of being a 160. So the active comp is, say I am an 11.2 and I'm playing a
It
13.9.
made it a little confusing. 160 to 100, you divide by 10, so it becomes 10 to 16.
Yeah,
so the
10 to
range
16.
is 10 to 16.
Okay. So say I'm a 10 and I'm playing a 16. You start up 100 points per comp point, and you go down to the first decimal point, so you can be anywhere from 600 to 0 points up in a game. So that's an active comp to keep you kind of balanced in the game, and also for pairings for first round, you'll get paired against somebody close to your comp. So I am taking
Also added at the end of the tournament.
And also added in at the end of the tournament. Although I don't like that, but that's not part of the Swedish, but that's fine. That's only plus 6 points max compared to somebody who's 10 to 16. So I'm taking a 13.9 Wood Elf list, and Matt is taking a Warriors
13.
list of 13.8. Oh, I didn't know you were that close to me. All right. So we're gonna go over some of the lists that I was sent by people, and also some of the lists that we think will be the best in the tournament. And also, just for this tournament, we're allowed to take up to 2 choices from the Storm of Magic or our Monstrous Arcanum book, up to 350 points, but only one big choice. Like I don't remember what the restrictions were, but it was like one monster. You can't duplicate monsters.
So the restrictions are you can take 2 monsters if you want. You can never take 2 flying monsters, and you can't take a flying monster from Storm of Magic if you already have a flying monster in your list.
And you also can't.
The reason
You also can't duplicate out your army, I think. So, like, if you have 2 Gorgons from a Beastman book, you can't take a 3rd Gorgon from Storm of Magic. But that's.
So the only thing that's really complicated is the flying monster thing, and the reason it's there is because if you look at the Swedish cost level on armies, any army that can take a significant number of flying monsters will have an additional tax for subsequent flying monsters because you have target saturation. And instead of trying to build that additional target saturation tax into the like Storm of Magic monsters, Ben just said doesn't make sense to do it. So if you have a flying monster in your army, you can't take a flying monster out of the Storm of Magic allotment.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring up the lists, and I'm going to view them on my screen.
Oh, one other thing we should mention is there's probably 5 or 10 monsters in the range that aren't allowed. Like the Kadai is less than 350, but it's not a legal choice.
Yeah, there are a couple banned ones. No casters, and there's a couple like wonky ones like the shard or the warp fire dragon, the death elemental, like stuff like that. There's kind of like
there's like a high power monster you never see, and it's probably because it wasn't allowed.
Yes. Okay. So the most common ones that I know of are the trolls, because they're just regular trolls and they're nice to take comp free. The Shard Dragon, which is a toughness 7, strength 6 monster with a 2-up armor save. It walks. It's not a flying monster, but it's also stubborn. So it's just a good dragon on the ground with a good armor. And the Bale Taurus, which is the same Bale Taurus out of the Chaos Dwarf book, the Tomarkin whatever. So the first list I'm going to go over is by Keith Banu from the ETC team, and he's bringing Empire, and he's got the Grandmaster Runefang setup, General, Wizard level 4 Life, Wizard level 2 Light, Captain BSB on horse, Captain Imperial Peg, so just a Captus. He's got the Shard Dragon as his choice. He's got 13 Knights, Inner Circle I'm assuming. He's got the full command there. He's got 5 Knights, the little offset unit. He's got 16 Swordsmen with 2 detachment of Archers, 5 Demis, a Great Cannon, and a Hurricanum, and he falls at a 13.
They may not be Inner Circle.
They might not be inner circle actually because the comp hit. Yep. But so basically, what he plans on doing with this list, he talked to me about it, and I really like it because like the average Empire list is pretty much like this, except you get the inner circle, but he avoided that for the comp hit. And like the swordsmen are a little weird, but you're always going to take those detachment of archers just to be chaff. You get the 5 knights sometimes to be the little offset with the light wizard running around, and he's got the level 4 life with the MR and the captain and the BSB. So I mean, like it's a pretty standard list. The only thing that he dropped was the steam tank for the shard dragon, and I think that's a really good change because the steam tank is like a -40 in Swedish, so it's a really big hit. So this honestly plays just like a regular Empire list with a bus. Just instead of the steam tank, you have a shard dragon, so you lose a cannon shot, but that's not that big a deal. So I think this list is really good. I think it's a win for me, but it's a small win because I think the problem he's going to encounter is if you have a way to answer armor, which not a lot of people will, but like if you say you face this Skaven that are coming, and I know there are a lot of Skaven with 2 Warp Lightning cannons that dropped everything else to get those. Or the Skaven, I'm pretty sure were the lowest comped average army at this tournament, so like that's a scare. These random monsters like the Bale Taurus, like if the Bale Taurus gets into like the demis, they're really in trouble. So and it's hard to get at the Bale Taurus after he's in with the demis for this army. So like I see a lot of problems like happening if something is problematic and gets there because there's not a lot of countercharging you can do with this army.
I think that I know the Shard Dragon for the Steam Tank, it makes sense as oh well these models look similar, but one of the things the Steam Tank I think is most powerful at is holding down when Empire usually picking one side of the board, sort of cornering like a soft corner, like you're taking maybe half of your deployment zone, and then the outside of that toward the center you've got the Steam Tank, and the random move on the Steam Tank makes it very useful for preventing being flanked because you have this 360-degree radius of threat range, sort of like a circle in your top exposed corner, and that really constrains people's ability to get around your flank.
Mm-hmm.
The Shard Dragon doesn't allow that, so he's going to have to use it, farther back, more defensively, and I mean that's not a huge deal because it doesn't have a cannon shot anyway. But I think he'll be able to have it serve the same role, but not with the same level of flexibility. I think the bigger difference is the lack of the random mover than the lack of the cannon shot.
Okay. So I see Keith going like 5-1. I see some random game, something wonky happens with cannons. Because I mean, like even though there aren't a lot of cannons, I'm pretty sure like if he fights dwarves, like a double cannon dwarf army will be a big issue for this army. And like with an organ gun, like I know an organ gun and like 2 cannons would be really devastating against this army.
So you were saying that you think a Bale Taurus is going to beat the demis?
I think a Bale Taurus getting into the demis is a huge problem because 3 demis versus just a Bale Taurus.
Well, it's 5 demis. It's 1 unit of 5.
No, I know, but only 3 get to fight.
So 3 demis. So you got 9 attacks. You got 4.5 hits. You're going to have, yeah, you're not really going to do any wounds. But the issue is the Bale Taurus isn't either. Like it's got 4 attacks. It gets 2.5 hits. 2 wounds. You get maybe a wound through. They've got a banner and a musician. Do they have musician?
They have a musician champ.
That's a pretty high variation for a leadership 6 monster. So I wouldn't charge a Bale Taurus into them. In this
well, if you can keep the general.
If you're in the general range, it's fine. But like, yeah, they'll hold the demis, but it's not really going to do that much more than that. With a level 4 life, I don't see the demis breaking to a Bale Taurus. I feel like that's sad.
That was my point. There's only 2 aggressive units in this army besides the shard. If you're using the Shard Dragon defensively, then like if the knights are scared of something and you can just hold up the demis, then you don't have any pressure. That was my point. So like a warriors list, if you can throw the Bale Taurus in and keep the general nearby, like you've just got a knight bus stick and you can chaff for a turn and then charge in with everything next turn.
Okay.
Because there aren't any other.
I think it's fine to hold the demis. I just don't think it beats them. But yeah, no, that makes sense.
I didn't need to beat the. You don't need to beat the. But having something that can reliably hold, something that can hold 5 demis is really strong, and be relatively safe.
Yeah, I think it's a good list.
Next list. This is mine.
I'm gonna say this a lot, but I think I would probably get a close to a tie against this. I think that it would come down to cannons versus flyers because I'd be trying to go around and get stuff from the sides.
Yep. So next up is my favorite list of the tournament, Gurn's,
Yeah,
who is bringing a Lizardman list, and oh my god, this list is so scary.
he needs to be on table one because he's not leaving table one.
Yeah, he's going to stay on table one for a while. And the only time like I see him getting kicked off table one is because his opponent just turtled and like went for a small loss from the start. So Gurn is taking a BSB Slan with Wandering Deliberations and the Iron Curse icon. He's got a mounted Old Blood with all the stuff. He's got a mounted Scarvet with all the stuff. And he's got a Ripperdactyl Chief, a Pterodon Chief, a Skink Priest on Heavens, 3 cohorts with 23 guys each full command, 2 skirmishers with Jabs and Shields, 1 skirmisher with Jab and Shield and Champ, 3 units of 3 Rippers, and a Bale Taurus and some Harpies. So another caveat of Swedish comp is they do make their own FA allowed to join Pterodon characters and Ripper characters and also like Brett Peg characters into flying units. They do allow that. So what he's been doing basically is he has these 3 Ripper units that run around with his Ripper Chief and his Pterodon Chief. And they ruin people. They absolutely ruin people. They have killing blows, so they're terrifying to knights. The toads just make them ridiculous if you can get off buffs. And the Slan magic with all the SIGs, like he has Searing Doom and Fireball and like all these useful things. Like it's crazy. He 20-0'd me by the top of 2, and I just don't know what to do.
We've played a couple games, and I have a tie and a loss against this list, and it's a really
It's so fast.
really has bad matchups. Like it's very flexible. It's got a ton of mobility. It's got really like the Old Blood and the Scarvet hit really hard. The Magic phase is very flexible. I don't actually see him getting all 20-0s. I just see
Oh, I don't
it
see no 20-0s, but I don't
not
see
having bad matchups. I don't see anyone who's going to be like, yeah, I want to play against that. I can totally beat that. No problem.
Yeah. But he comes in at a 15.6, so he's never starting above 40 points down, and usually he's starting up like 100 points, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Just being up on comp on people is amazing with this list. And I am this was probably like my most likely besides like a the thing is I would want to play this list least over like a monster spam list because like at least the monster spam list I have a chance of like shooting down or something bad happening. This list like it doesn't have even if something goes wrong, the Slan's still safe.
I would rather play this list than Dwarf Gunline, but that's about it.
Well, that's for fun.
I mean, it's a really fun list to play against. Like, if you play him, like, it's a really interesting game. I haven't had a boring game. There's a lot of movement, and it's like none of the stuff on its own is ridiculously powerful. So it's a very interesting movement game. My worry going in is him being able to finish all his games because he's going to have a lot of movement, and an opponent who maybe isn't the fastest player is going to have a lot of time trying to like react and predict what he's going to do with all those flyers, and they can unintentionally waste a lot of time in the movement phase trying to figure out what he's going to do. So
yeah, long games. There's a lot of small.
Worry about some turn 4 finishes where he could have broken it open by turn 5 or 6. So Gurn, if you watch this, you'd be meaner, not so nice. It'd be like, hurry up, hurry up.
Play fast. All right. So he's honestly my favorite to win the tournament because he also has a beautifully painted army.
Yeah, for overall, yeah.
For overall, I see him coming. I see him definitely taking a 1, 2, or 3. Definitely.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick one list that was most likely to end up in top 3 overall, that would be it.
Yeah. So next up is the famous Alex Schmid with his Vampire Scream list, which I think is just the worst list at the tournament. So he went with the low comp. He took an 11.2. He also took a Shard Dragon. So he has been really successful with this Scream list that he's been playing lately, which is like the European just Congo line and win Screams.
But so, he's been playing it with 2 Terrorgeists.
Yeah, he's been playing it with 2 Terrorgeists. He hasn't been playing it in Swedish comp. And he's also, but besides that, he's made like really minor changes. So he basically dropped the Terrorgeist for a Shard Dragon and then like a couple other small stuff. But his
glaring difference to me is I don't know what he normally has, but I don't see Night Shroud anywhere in here.
Oh well, he doesn't need it.
That's a big deal.
Why doesn't need it? the characters almost should never be in combat anyway.
But if you hit that bus, like, I mean,
But he's gonna Congo line it before you get there. The flyers are an issue. Like the Rippers are a huge issue, I think, for this list because they can come in after the Vampire Lord, and if they get to swing, it's variability.
I just mean that, like, when I've seen these lists, yeah, he can conga, but like eventually you need to be able to engage with your bus if you want to take the big win off of like another Death Star, and the inability of this list to get rid of great weapons, I feel like that's a big deal for vampires. I mean, that general has, well, he's got maybe like a 3-up, 4-up. He's basically on
He's got a 4-up, 4-up.
4-up, 4-up. So he's basically just a 4-up ward against any great weapon attacks. Where normally a vampire, like a Black Knight bus, he's going to have basically a 2-up because the great weapons are gone, and even a footless with Night Shroud, the Vampire Lord's a lot more durable. So to me, it's weird to not see Night Shroud in here. I don't know how much comp it is, but I
just don't think he has a character for it. With 2 Banshees and a Necromancer and a Vampire.
Oh, because he has the scroll at level 2. Yeah. Maybe, I mean...
And I know he wanted Rod because of the, just a little bit more restricted movement with how many infantry blocks are going to be out there, because Rod is
I don't know what that down, Rod of Flaming Death?
Down flame cage, basically.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I think that, like, Alex is good, and he'll play it well, and I just...
I would love to fight this list. I'm not scared of this list at all. I would love to fight it.
That's it.
If you don't have to come forward in a straight line at him, like if you have a lot of flank, I see the Warriors doing really well against this. I see the Lizardmen doing really well. Dwarves are just gonna shoot you. The Screams are not fun, but he's only got 1 Terrorgeist and 2 Banshees.
Yeah, but 1 Scream is enough to be a deterrent to a lot of Warrior movement.
Yeah.
I think that he'll do well, but I don't think that like this list. Like, when I looked at it in Nova, I could be wrong, because when I looked at it in Nova, I was like, how is he going to get big wins unless people just shove forward at him, because the power projection doesn't really feel there. And I think he may run into the same thing here. Like, when people shove at him, he can get big wins, but, if he's got to come across with a relatively weak bus and 8 Cryptors, the Shard Dragon, and the Terrorgeist, that's basically the army. If someone doesn't expose themselves, it feels very hard for him to get a significant win off Screams alone. Like, so he really does have to engage, and he's got to be able to. I don't know.
To see.
I feel like losing the second Terrorgeist is a big hit in Swedish.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I like the list because it still fits. It's one of those lists that, again, like you dropped one thing from your regular good list to make it still work, but like this one, like it takes such a huge hit in comp. I don't think the Shard Dragon, the big thing I know is the Shard Dragon can get healed from the Vampire Lore, which is really annoying. But
really? Why can it get healed from the Vampire Lore?
You use the Lore Tribute to heal 1 wound on a friendly model. It doesn't matter. It's not
a restriction for undead.
It's not a restriction for undead. So you can only heal 1 per cast, but it's still healing 1 wound on a Shard Dragon is strong.
I still see Alex going probably 5-1 with this, but I feel like it will be hard for him to get big wins off of good players.
Alright. So here's my list. So I'm playing the Wood Elves. So I took a level 3 high, level 3 dark, level 3 high. My BSB's got the Crown of Command, Biting Blade. I've got 12 Poison Glade Guard. I've got 12 Starfire Glade Guard. 9 Glade Riders, 6 Wild Riders with shields. Actually, all of them have shields. I have 34 Rangers, 10 Way Watchers, a Scouting Sabertusk, and a Royal Stag. So the Royal Stag is basically like my Eagle replacement, and the Scouting Sabertusk is the other Eagle replacement. So I've had super mixed success. Oh yeah, I'm a 13.9. I've had a lot of swingy games where the difference for this army is if I go first or not, which is kind of like disappointing because like
that's how our games have been. I've won every one I went first, and you won every one you went first.
And I've had that experience basically across the board, where if I don't go first, I just lose, and if I do go first, I win, which is kind of like I wanted to get away from the demon like play style, and this play style is fun, but like it's only like the amount of games, I think it's honestly the monsters that have been bothering me because like not everybody should have a Bale Taurus that's on me turn 2.
Well, you're also not
Huge
using
problem.
your monster allotment.
And I'm also not using. Well, that doesn't matter. It's the choice of taking a Ranger bus, something that's vulnerable to a Strength 4 template, or
Yeah, but you
something
could have
an
taken
army
out
that.
the second Wild Rider unit, gone up to a 16, and had a monster.
Yes, but well, I lose the Stag and the Saber Tusk. But that was the point. The point was that the Ranger bus, the idea of the Ranger bus, does not work well against the monsters, and I think I made a poor tournament choice there. But we'll see how it goes. So like I've had super mixed success against these monsters, but I'm not very confident with the list. It's been I think against the people that like everybody that I've played has been relatively like very good with their list, and I went to the practice day and I won all 3 games, but like I did go first all 3 of those games, so like I was like, yeah, I should win.
Who
So I
did you
basically
play at the practice tournament?
Hmm?
Who did you play at the practice
I
tournament?
played the Bretonia with the Spitting Hydra, which is also very
Mhm.
bad for my army because he basically I
Oh,
had to keep
right.
it. The 2 turns he got to shoot, he killed 4 and 5 Wild Riders.
Yeah,
So
you played
I
uh,
played Gene with his
yeah.
Bretonia. I played Lyn, which was basically like a copy of that Scream list,
Uh-huh.
which instead of the Shard Dragon had an Etten, which is not that big a difference for me. And then instead of the 8 Crypt Horrors, he had like a Mortis Engine, and he had a couple different layouts. He had the Shroud.
Uh-huh.
But basically, what happened was I shot off all the extra stuff, and then the zombies got ground down by Wild Riders per turn. The Stag and the Sabertusk can go kill a zombie unit on their own.
Yeah, so you'll note, by the way, Len's list, we worked on it together, and I think pretty much the significant difference between it and Alex's list was I had an additional character. There's no Crypt Horrors in Len's list, right?
There was a Mortis Engine.
Yeah, so basically you drop the Crypt Horrors for a Mortis Engine and another character, and there's a Shroud. It's like a white
Mhm.
glowing Shroud.
You get the Shroud, and you get the Mortis Engine instead of the 8 Crypt Horrors, which is like you get a Scream, but honestly, I like the 8 Crypt Horrors better because they just hold.
Okay.
But you lose the Shroud, so again, you become a lot more vulnerable there.
But, I haven't played the army as much as Alex has, so maybe he plans to get in combat less than I would think it should.
Mhm. So that's my list. I expect I'll go 4 and 2, or
Really?
I might go 5 and 1. But like all my wins are going to be medium to small. I think.
I think that you will get some big wins against people who don't understand the mechanics of the Ranger bus.
hmm Well,
Um,
the point of the list was it's very good against other infantry stars or just any
yeah.
other combat unit, like night buses. It's amazing against night buses.
Mm-hmm.
And but if you are like a single model army, it's not that good. But the point is, it doesn't lose big to those armies unless you have some type of template. Because
Right,
like
but
I've
you
played,
could lose everything except the Ranger bus with the
and
cast.
I have 1,600 points in that Ranger bus, so like it's not bad even if I lose everything else. But the problem has been every time I've played a Bale Taurus, people are smart enough to just walk up right next to it and flame it, and there goes a third of the unit, and then it's vulnerable.
Wait, we need to tell the best story so that everyone knows how I Spirit Leeched off Jake's BSB, resolved Doom and Darkness on the Ranger bus, resolved Flame Cage on the Ranger bus, and then Breath Weapon the side of the Ranger bus, and Jake was like, wait,
I
the
did.
Beltaurus has a Breath Weapon?
Yeah.
It was great because there were at least 2 times Flame Cage was going to trigger when you conceded. Made me really happy.
Yeah. Although Rangers were dead in the turn, but basically I've been dying to flame breath from
Yeah.
everybody.
Because
And if you don't,
3D block, yeah.
the bane of me for this tournament. If I don't have to fight Bale Taurus, if I can fight just one Bale Taurus and I go first that game, I'll be perfectly happy.
I don't think that there's going to be as many as you expect. Like, I think there'll be a lot, but there's a few solid choices, and I don't know, anyone who takes a flying monster can't take it. Like, when we're looking at these lists that have been submitted, I see as many Shard Dragons as Bale Tauruses.
Yes. And basically the Shard Dragon Bale Taurus and like the Etten are the choices, honestly.
And I think
But the Etten is still bad for me because of the Scout, because it's how quickly it's on me.
yeah.
And the problem has been having toughness 6 that can be on me by turn 2 for this army is a big issue. If the Wild Riders like can't one,
Don't the Wild Riders
The
one from
Wild
the Etten?
Riders don't beat that because
Really?
you don't get enough frontage on it.
Oh, so in the flank you'd be fine, but in the front you're not.
Yeah. No, well in the flank you're fine. The Wild Riders take it down to like 1 wound, but they don't kill it
Mm.
because after the first round they won't kill it.
But it's stubborn.
And then it's annoying, but the Etten is not as bad as the Veil Taurus because honestly the only reason the Veil Taurus is really bad is because of the fly.
I mean, can't you just charge Etten with the Wild Riders turn 1, hold, lose it turn 2, and then charge it with the next Wild Riders or finish it off turn 2?
No, the Etten usually kills the Wild Riders.
But not in one turn.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's got 7 weapon skill 4, strength 6, hatred attacks.
Okay.
It's variable, but the thing is, like, it has one rounded them before. It's about 50-50
Okay.
in my experience. One round.
And if it one rounds them, it's a problem.
It's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's honestly like I'm gonna get 6/6 ups, and if I don't make one, I'm in trouble.
Or you could resolve a spell.
Yeah, or a spell goes off or something, and like if they don't go in full, it's really risky. Or if they go in debuffed or anything. So I'm excited because I've enjoyed these games, but like the going first has been a huge issue for me because like honestly these Glade Riders aren't useful until turn 2, and then for how fast these games have developed, not having 200 points on the board on your opponent's turn 2 if they went first is a big issue. So,
I find the 3 level 3s really scary.
Oh, that's the other thing. You don't see a lot of magic in these armies. Like we've seen relatively high magic actually from these first couple lists, like the level 4, level 4, level 4. But most armies have been dropping level 4s for level 2s. Like next he has 2 level 2s here, and then the level 3s are a big deal.
Yeah.
So next up is one of these lists that I've lost against every time, but it's been like if I go actually no, I haven't lost every time, but if I go first, I went in small. But it's the flying Travis's Flame Phoenix, Frost Phoenix, Etten, and his Etten has the take wounds, do damage, and that's also been a huge issue, which I honestly think is the best Etten. It's as a D6 Strength 6 Weapon Skill 2 poison hits whenever the Etten takes a wound, and then he definitely clears the Wild Riders. So
wait, is D6 hits whenever he takes a wound?
D6 poison attacks. It's Weapon Skill 2, Strength 6.
Huh.
So it's like the acid from the Jabberslith, but it's really good.
It's D6 per wound is a lot better than like
just one.
Yeah, like the Shard Dragon ability.
But so he's got basically a small bus with some characters, but he's got 3 shove. This army is a shove army. It literally shoves on you with 2 phoenixes and a bus, and he's like, deal with it. And if you can't, the Etten's on you in the flank, and it's just honestly it puts you in a bad situation. It's a 12.8, but the problem is like I've seen him go down to Empire dwarves. Like if stuff gets shot off, it goes really bad.
So what I find frustrating here, if you look at the BSB, it's for the Sword of Antiheroes. I feel like more and more people are taking that item, and it drives me nuts because it's so bad and useless in so many matches and happens to be amazing against me. Every time I see that, I'm like, that's 35 dead points in half of your matches. But you're right, it is amazing against me.
But this list has been it's shove on you, it's deal with me. If you can't deal with me, you're going to get 20 owed. It's honestly, the Frost Phoenix is so good. But like I said, like I've seen one cannon just ruin this army. Like if Frost Phoenix goes down like turn 1 or 2 before it gets there, like this army doesn't pack that much of a punch.
Without the Phoenix.
Without the Frost Phoenix.
I feel like
Frost Phoenix, you've got 12 Silverhelms with 1 fighty character. If you don't have like characters in your fighty units, like you've got 1 character with an Ogre Blade, which is only 3 attacks, and then 13 elves.
I think that this is a really good list, but that when Travis saw that there were 6 dwarves in this tournament, he couldn't have been happy.
He probably cried, yeah. You face one dwarf, and the dwarf basically says, sit behind the hill and take a tie, or else you're going to lose. Or you take your variability.
True line of sight.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
You're going to fly all the flyers up to the sides and try to get to the war machines before they get shot off.
Hmm.
I think the biggest thing that he's got going for him here is the Flame Phoenix. I mean, how that ends up going in the shooting round really affects um,
Hmm.
how he does against the
For
Wormstone.
there being 6 dwarves at this tournament, I love it. I love that there were 6 dwarves that showed up at this tournament. And as a person that,
Uh,
as I think dwarves were also an amazing choice because look at all these. Look at how many monsters have we seen? 3, 0,
well, they're also an
2.
amazing choice because for some reason Swedish is like, meh, they're not an issue. It's fine. Let them have whatever they want.
Honestly, like I think they were. I'm glad that Swedish was so light on them because they honestly keep all these monsters in check. Like, there's only one from the Empire, but like then you've got two, 3. Like you're averaging 2 monsters. I'm pretty sure per list. So like these cannons are huge.
Well, but if, like, of course there's monsters because it's Grail Quest. So like
Yeah.
everyone gets a free monster, which makes dwarves even better than they already are in a relaxed Swedish system. Like where
Yes.
they're, I think, one of the lowest, lightest comp lists.
Yes. But I think that's great. I'm very glad that happened because it means less
Mm.
likely for me to face 3 monsters on a table.
It means you're
Table turn 3.
more likely to play dwarves later on. I mean, normally, like
Hmm.
honestly, you only worry about playing dwarves in the first few rounds.
Hmm. And now they could be winning because they can get the big wins off of people because you can't hide from them. If they deploy those organ guns like up front and ready to go with cannons, like they're going to be shooting you each round.
Yeah, I don't understand the line of sight, but
Very happy, very happy. But so yeah, this is some more comments on the lists. So yes, Beastman. So the one Beastman player who is also a member from our club has decided to go with this army, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So he's got the Beast Lord with the 1-up rerollable with the Ramhorn helm. He's got a level 4 Death with this Herdstone and the Staff of Darkroth, which
what's
is the
that do?
It's the Vile Tide bound item.
Oh, okay.
The Wargore BSB with the Beast Banner, level 2 Shadow Hag Tree, level 2 Shadow Scroll, 50 Gore with full command and extra hand weapons, 21 Ungore with Musician, 15 Gore with Musician, um, 30 Bestigore with full command and standard discipline, 5 Harpies as scouts, 8 Trolls, and a Scouting Saber Tusk. And he comes in at 13.1.
So this is a lot different than last time I saw this list.
Yes.
He added a
So
lot more reach.
basically what this does is he's going to say, I have Purple Sun and I have Pit. I'm going to throw 4 dice every turn because he's plus 2 dice, plus 3 channels. So he averages around 3 dice plus a turn to what he rolls. And in Swedish, like, it's
Wait,
pretty
what?
hard
Wait,
because he's
where are
getting.
these dice come from? Oh,
So
he's got Hearthstone.
he's
So
got
he cut
Hearthstone.
the Minotaur character.
Yes, he did. Which I didn't like, but he was like, I think it's better to have Pit and Sun every game and be able to say, I'm going to 4 dice Pit and 4 dice Sun.
This makes those trolls. I mean, the whole reason he was doing this originally was take that Minotaur character and the trolls.
Originally, he had a Minotaur hero with Blackened Plate, which gave the trolls a 4-up ward basically instead of a 4-up regen, which is really cool. But I think the problem was he faced me a lot, and because if you have out of sequence flaming with other stuff that does damage, it's not good.
It's so few lists to have that.
But so few lists have that. But also, like, how many flaming things have you seen so far? I haven't seen any
Hmm.
besides me, and I was the only one without a sequence flaming.
I
So
don't
my flaming
understand how
didn't
you.
even matter.
I mean, I guess this is a common knowledge list. Is like if your army has access to flaming. Well, Keith has flaming, right? He's got some kind of.
No, he
He
has no.
must have a. He has no priests.
Oh, Keith. No, he does not have a priest. He has
Really?
no wizard,
No,
grandmaster, 2
no. The
captains.
Grandmaster. The Grandmaster is Doesn't he have the bound spells too?
No, the grandmaster is just a regular. It's a art collector. Is the bound guy.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, so he's no flaming.
There's no flaming there. The Gurn's list has no flaming besides the Bale
Travis
Taurus.
obviously has it. Well, but there's
Travis has it with the
Alex needed.
anointed.
Uh,
Alex's list doesn't have it, but like I haven't seen a lot of flaming, so like it's not. It was a very
it
cool
feels like a
idea.
weird choice to me. Hmm.
It was a really cool idea, but I think it would be better without the Storm of Magic because I think a lot of people are bringing Bale Taurus, and that is what their flaming is. And it's honestly like the Bale Taurus, he's considering the Bale Taurus shouldn't be living because of the Purple Sun and Pit that he's going to be throwing every turn.
Why? It's I3. It's there on turn 2. If they don't scroll it before the Bale Taurus gets there, it's a 50-50.
He's got the Vile Tide, too. So he's throwing Vile Tide, Pit, and Sun every turn, and he'll usually have the dice. And he's also got Death Snipes. He's also going to have Death Snipes, so like Spirit Leech is really strong against
really strong. I don't think like Pit and Purple Sun are not a sure thing against an I3 monster. It's a 50-50 if you resolve it through.
Yes, but the point of this list was I have Pit and Sun in Swedish at a 13, which is really strong.
I think that's good against stuff. I'm not sure it's great against
six dwarves are going to cry when they see this list. There's nothing to shoot off with cannons. Your Stone Throwers is going to do damage, but he doesn't care. He's got 50 bodies. Like, so what if you have a Stone Thrower? So what if you have 2 Working Guns? Yeah. Hag Tree usually kills a War Machine. So I love it, but it's also very matchup dependent, so we'll see. He's the only Beastman player.
What do you think his bad matchups are?
Warriors.
Really?
People that are fast and not vulnerable to having Pit and Sun throw it.
I don't know if there will be any fast Warriors lists.
Flying Warriors lists. The Chaos Lord is scary.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Okay.
The Chaos Lord can run around and kill a lot of these wizards and not care. So he only has to really avoid the Beast Lord, and even the Beast Lord isn't that good. Like, the Beast Lord is scary for him, but like it's not.
He'll lose to the Beast Lord because the Beast Lord will be no block, and he'll lose to static.
The one thing he does have going for them, he has 2 shadow debuffs, and he's got snipes. So like, basically the Chaos Lord has to engage kind of quickly, and he's not always like the Beast Lord does keep that unit kind of safe.
I think it's a good list. I just wouldn't be overconfident that the magic phase is going to carry you through because
and there's always variety in that. So we'll see. So next up is Roger, and he's taking pretty much the same list you are, kind of.
Sort of. Close.
Close. But he's got the Chaos Lord on the Chaos Steed. He's got the Chaos Lord on the disc. He's got the Exalted Hero with the BSB.
Disc.
Yeah, he does.
What? Oh,
the second one.
Talisman of Preservation. There's no disc there. Oh, disc. Oh, yeah. I guess he did. Huh. Okay. Yeah.
It's almost a mirror to what you are, except he's got.
Well, the saves and stuff are a lot different.
Yeah.
He went for a more ward heavy, but
he had a Skull of Catan.
Yeah. Oh, he took Skull. Oh. Okay, his characters are basically the same as mine, but with different lores.
Yeah. So basically, he has the 2 level 2s with Siege. He's got the 2 Chaos Chariots, which are what is Chaos Chariot base? So he didn't mark them.
Maybe he just didn't write down the mark.
Okay.
No, it's they're 115, so they're both Slanesh.
Okay. Well, there you go. He's got the 2 Marauder Horsemen, which I'm sure are Slanesh because they don't count. 20 Marauders, a Chaos Chariot, again, another Slanesh Chaos Chariot, 3 Skull Crushers, and the Bale Taurus. He comes in at 13.1. So basically, like, this is honestly pretty close to what I had originally, except I didn't have a flying character. And I had an extra BSB. Basically, the flying Chaos Lord went down to a BSB, and I had the extra. I had a Hell Cannon.
I think this list is good. The main problem for Roger is he doesn't have like a safety against gunlines.
Like dwarves will blow this off the board.
Well,
I'm pretty sure because there's no hiding.
He's gonna have to make He's gonna have to make board saves. Like, he doesn't have the blasted standard, which means those characters are going to be exposed to having to make ward saves. And yeah, the first target is going to be the Bale Taurus, and he has such target saturation that I think he can just shove at dwarves, and there's so many good targets for those cannons, they can't target everything. I think that he may get through gun lines on them deciding to focus fire on things that don't have ward saves first.
Well, it's he only has 2 flying things. He's got the Lord and the Bale, and if the Bale goes down, then it's just the Lord. And like organ guns blow apart a chariot. They'll blow apart a character.
Yeah, I don't think he's totally boned against gun lines, but definitely not a matchup that you prefer.
The point is, a lot of the dwarves, if you get it's going to take 2 to 3 turns to get the war machines, and then I don't think you have enough time to get the rest of the army, is the issue. With what you're going to have left.
Mm-hmm.
On a regular game. Like some games, like the dwarves are just going to miss, and you're going to be fine. But
now,
some
one thing
games,
he has
dwarves
that I
are
don't.
And, yeah.
He's got the double Lorazines means he's usually going to have Gateway, and that's a big tool. I think that makes a lot of
6 dice Gateway is really good.
Yeah, a lot of matches that otherwise you have problems with. Oh, by the way, I can 6 dice Gateway. I mean, that makes his matchup against Alex a lot better than mine is because there's a Terrorgeist. Well, better not put it within range of me walking up and gatewaying it. There's too high of variability there.
But I really like Roger's chances at this tournament. He's been doing really well with this type of list. He's been playing it for like the last 3 or 4 tournaments, and he won the last tournament he went to with this type of list. He got first overall.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that it's a good list, and obviously since I'm taking something kind of similar, there's a fair amount of warriors going to the tournament, but I don't think a lot like this. You want to do really quick and then go back since we're talking about them being similar?
Yeah, sure. So your list is different how? I think it's just got more of death and more of
No, it's there's more differences. Do you want to scroll down to it?
I'm back on it. Oh, did you post on this page?
Yeah.
I think whatever. We have Irby. We don't care about Irby.
Well, we can go back up. Just go to page 4 and we'll go back up.
All right.
Just because we're already talking about it. So there we go. So my characters are, I feel like there's, I've made sure that everything has a 1-up, but in doing that I've had to sacrifice some ward saves, so the differences between me and is, I have to be a little more careful positioning my combat characters. They can't leave my block as much. For example, like my Exalted Hero doesn't have a ward save. But he's got a 1-up rerollable. But he's in a block. If you scroll down a little bit, he's in a block with a Blasted Standard.
Yeah.
Which means I don't
Cannons aren't that bad.
Yeah, I don't need to have the ward save on him, and that's been able to save me a lot of comp. So basically, Roger's list is 1. I went level 2 Death on the Mount and level 2 Fire instead of the 2 Zinch, and 2. Because I have the Blasted Standard block, I can be a little more conservative with my characters. I'm not sure which build is going to end up being better in this meta. I like this build because I feel like it's very safe. One thing that I feel like is underrated, a level 2 Death has a 44% chance, I think, of getting Sun, because you can get
Purple Sun, you can get Doom of Darkness, both of which are very, very good.
Well, there's a lot of good options, but I think that when you roll with 1 level 2, your opponent's like, oh my god, you rolled Purple Sun on your level 2. But you can roll a 6 on either die or any doubles. Like, it's almost a 50-50 of getting Purple Sun on a level 2. So, you know, going into every game with almost 50-50 Purple Sun that I pay basically no comp for in an environment with low initiative stuff, I feel like that's a good went with the Death and Fire. Also, the Mounted Death means you can come out and you Purple Sun from close range. But I don't have as many bodies as Roger's block, and against things like, say, against...
You've only got 2 chariots, too.
Yeah, well, against, like, Seagram's list, like, he doesn't care about Blasted Standard. It's, at least I don't think so.
No, it doesn't have a strength value.
And, so it's like, against, like, Screams, it's basically strictly worse because he doesn't have cannons, so I don't really have a reason to leave
it's wasted
there.
Points.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wasted points in that army.
Well, and also the more models and the guys with actual ward saves are just better against the Screams.
Yeah. Also, like, I know there's 3 Tomb Kings, and I know 2 of them have 40+ archers, and those are going to be pounding down on that Blasted Standard.
Yeah, that's okay, I guess. I mean, And most of
And
them,
I know one of them. Irby's list is actually we've gone through your list because you got pretty much like the same layout. You still got the 3 Skull Crushers. Your big difference is you drop the Marauders for Warhounds on the Marauder cap, and then you get the Warriors instead of the Marauders themselves, and you sack points elsewhere.
yeah. Besides that, it's basically the same list, and it's done really well so far, and it's a 13.8.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back up to. We don't need to go through everyone's. What I thought Todd was bringing Wood Elves, but it looks like he's
bringing Steven. So like this is what I was talking about. Todd's bringing 2 Warp Lightning Cannons. He sacks his comp, and he sacks all the other rares to get those. So like that's really scary. He's still got the seer. He's got everything to chaff you up. So I like that. You've got your standard Orc and Goblin army, which is awesome because for Orcs and Goblins, you don't have to make a lot of changes. You just add your 9 Trolls comp free, and there you go. Like this looks like a pretty standard Orc and Goblin army.
There's no the difference is he had to sack the catapults.
Yes, he has no catapults. It's a big deal, but the 2 Dome Divers are more important, I think.
Yeah.
Irby playing Tomb Kings has got the Chariots, Archers, level 4, level 4. He's got the Veil Taurus, he's got 2 Caskets, he's got the 2 Catapults. Pretty nice.
Irby doesn't have his comp written there, but on
it's actually
Phil's,
like a 13.
No. I mean on the individual units. But what's shocking to me is when I looked at Phil's Tomb King list. The first thing I see when I see this list is why the hell do you take 2 level 4s in Swedish? They're comp so hard. Yeah, I get that Necroheart's not that good, but 2 level 4s. And then I looked at the actual Tomb King comp, and for some reason, for Tomb Kings, level 4s aren't comp very hard. It's like 20 for the level 4.
Because you're required to take a level 3 as your general. Like you have to take it in the army. So
yeah, but like those 2 level 4s together are like the same comp as 1 level 4 from a different army.
Yeah, but you're required to always take at least 1 level 3, and he has to be your Hierophant, so, like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know why it's comped that way. I'm saying...
When Tomb Kings win a tournament that
isn't... level 4s.
When Tomb Kings win a comp tournament, I'll let it be a complaint, but I've never seen this matter.
So that's probably why it's that way. It actually does make sense for him to tap with 2 level 4s, and at first glance, I wouldn't have thought that. That's why I'm pointing it out.
There are a lot of ogres at this tournament.
Yeah, there are.
Ogres were the most popular army at this tournament, coming in at 8 out of 66 or whatever.
I think we're both playing ogres round 1.
Yes, but those pairings are likely to change because of the drop.
Well, neither of us are at. Marcus is a 14.2. He's likely to drop, and so that shouldn't change the pairings below 14.
Okay. Then we should be fine. And he was also, the ringer is there, so that'll be good. The demon list as the ringer. This is the ringer demon list. I think it's hilarious.
Why?
This shows how frustrated I was with demons. That he has to take like a Bloodthirster, a Herald, 3 10-man pink horrors, 15 plague bearers, 4 beasts, 4 blood crushers, 5 hounds, 5 furies, a burning chariot, and then storm magic, and he's still like a 14.
Yeah, the Bloodthirster sure is rough in an environment where everyone's running a monster that he can smack around and kill.
But you're also facing 6 dwarves, and also
that's true.
You're facing some magic that can just blow him off the board.
If we had simplified line of sight, I would really like this list.
But it's not. So if you face a dwarf, he's dead.
Yeah.
Like he's not living to get there.
He can stand behind the Fen Beasts.
That's fine, but the dwarves are usually going
He's got the flaming cannon.
He's got the flaming cannons. He doesn't care about the Fen Beasts.
Yeah.
Standing behind the beasts is better.
Oh, he's got 4 beasts. Okay, yeah.
But basically, his combat block is 4 beasts. Like 15 plague bearers doesn't do anything.
Bloodthirster's a combat block.
But he's gonna get shot off.
Unless
I don't know. I don't like
successfully.
I do not like this list. I love the Bloodthirster, but the 4 blood crushers with full command and having to take a burning chariot is just it just doesn't fit. I don't think.
I think the burning chariot doesn't really fit the rest of the list.
4 blood crushers are just garbage. After
I imagine
playing
they're
them,
really comp cheap.
They are very comp cheap, but they're not point cheap, which is the point. That 4-man unit is almost 300 points. Actually, it's probably more than 300 points.
Now, see, I guess the only thing that I don't think this list is as bad as you seem to. The only thing that I would have changed, that I think really would make this better is those 15 plague bearers don't really have a purpose. I understand the 4th pink horror block is a lot of comp, but I would rather just have 3 blocks of 15 pink horrors.
Yeah, you could do that because you don't change your point value. So that would have been fine. Actually, I agree with you. It's probably only like -3 across the board.
Or
Actually,
more, because you're losing the comp from the
probably
plague
go
bearers.
up comp, yeah. But I don't like this list mainly because these 4 Fen Beasts are stupid, and they are leadership 8. And the
No,
Bloodthirster
it's 9.
is 9, but he doesn't benefit to these guys because
Why
they're not
not?
demons.
No, but it's not. Is it that the general doesn't give it out? I thought it was that demons can't use the leadership of the general unless he's their mark.
No, it says the demons only benefit to same demon, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it says that.
Just check the wording. I don't know if it
Okay,
interacts
it might
with
go
the
out, but
demon.
still, he doesn't have a BSB. So you're on a 9 once
Yeah.
for stupid on these. And most of the time, if the Bloodthirster is going to be aggressive, he's going to be away from them anyways.
Yeah.
So, but still, a 9 once to, like, in the middle of the game to just screw you over with these things? Just, ugh.
So it looks like, I mean, Robert tried to do the best he could with a comp that was so bad that you'd stop taking demons.
Yeah. Basically, the comp as of right now, I think, is just don't take demons. They're just awful. Unless you want to take
that.
Unless you want to take the all like Slanesh, but like
yeah, we'll get to that list. That list isn't bad.
That list isn't bad, but
I
like
don't know why it's not hit harder.
Because the dwarves.
Yeah. Well, but not every tournament has 6 dwarves.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, there's the demons. We went to yours. Another wood elf list. This guy's got the basilisk. He's also from our club. He's going with. I do not like this. He put his level 4 on a unicorn. Is and how high comp it is, but the only problem I talked to him about this is this right here.
What?
Because your general and your only spellcaster, or your main spellcaster is on a monstrous beast that doesn't get lookout stars, and all he's got is a 4-up ward.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I don't think it would be worth it purely for the comp bonus, but I think that he's also taking it for the model, and he's just not that
Okay. Well, that's fine then. Okay, so here's that demon list we were talking about. He's taking one of each for the
Yeah, it feels like a balance spread out.
It's a super balanced like grab-assy kind of like Wood Elf list. Like he's got the Warhawks, he's got the Wild Riders, he's got 2.
I mean, honestly, this is probably the closest to a traditional Wood Elf list we've seen within the comp, because everyone else has said the normal Wood Elf builds are comp so hard I'm doing something drastically different.
Yes, and the comp 15.6 is nice. And again, this list is very hard to score everything, but I think it would be even harder if this guy was not on a mount.
There's going to be one game where that Basilisk just like gives something really important, and it's going to be really sad.
Yes. I love this Basilisk. But the Basilisk has a 1 in 6 shot of just removing a model whenever it hits with its shooting.
Gone.
Yep.
Cool, just gone. Goodbye, General. It's fine.
Yep. You roll a 6, it's dead. So he's gonna ruin somebody a day.
He's gonna play Alex, and he's just gonna like Basilisk off the Vampire Lord. No problem.
Yeah. But he's gonna ruin 1 out of those 6 people's day with that Basilisk. He's gonna be like, he's dead. So next up is the Demon list, which I think is very good, and I've played it before, and I love it, but I don't love it in this environment with 8 ogres and 6 dwarves and bleh.
Okay, so let's talk about the choice on the keeper here. When I saw this, I was like, I don't understand this choice.
So this guy is the only person from the West Coast that is attending this tournament. This is an East Coast tournament. It's in Durham, North Carolina. This guy is from California. So right here, so my assumption is that out in California, you get into combat a lot more than we do here. Like, I'm guessing that the keeper, like when I play keeper, I go 50 and then 25, 25, and I take the whip
Yeah.
and 2 lessers. And
I
I
think
only put in
50-50 is also
well 50-50 is okay, but I like 25, 25 because you can get the 2-up ward, which is basically a charm shield. You have a 1 in 3 of getting a charm shield.
50-50 lets you have a good chance of getting 2-up armor.
Okay, fair enough. But I like the
Mm-hmm.
charm shield a lot too, and I like in the multi wounds too is also very very good.
So anyway, but when I look at this, the first thing I think is maybe he doesn't know that under the Master's Fact you can't take both the ASF sword and the plus D3 sword.
Ooh, I know he talks about always taking the Exalted Blade. So
right.
that might
so does
be
he
an
not
issue.
know that he can't do both in the Master's Fact?
He might not.
Because otherwise, the whip is just so strong, and with the double flame can or flames on the soul grinder, it feels like 2 of those in the whip is a lot of.
It's a lot of reliable, don't
Yeah.
have to roll shooting, yeah.
So I'd worry that he doesn't know that, and going in is gonna be a little frustrated with that surprise. But maybe he just really likes the Exalted or the Eternal Blade.
Yeah, I think he's just honestly like he might just take the Exalted Blade and whenever he rolls up and go with it. But having a level 4 Sinesh, Herald level 1, he's always almost going to get Kaka Bomb. Going to get all the spells he wants. He's got 2 25-man Demonettes with Gleaming Pen and an MR.
I mean, because of how the Slanesh comp is so light, like this is the closest I think we've seen to a real skew list that's under the comp. I mean, he's running 4 monsters. And
4 monsters that are gonna, they're all gonna shove on you, and it's really hard to deal with these. Like he could have ran a Baltors. He doesn't have any flying monsters.
I think it's because of the T7 redundancy, but I kind of would like a Baltor here too.
I think I would like a Baltor a little bit more, but you get some more points in here that will lower your comp because the Shard Dragon is the full 350 where you have to spend 100.
Take a Baltor and then like the Harpies, like I did. Like you could spend those points.
Oh, that's true. You can spend it on a secondary Storm Magic something. But God, I love playing 2 Soul Grinders. It's so much fun, and it ruins some people.
Yeah, I feel like this splits some 20s and some 0s.
Yeah. And the one thing was I played Kairos with this list so I could heal the Soul Grinders, but there's a lot of games where like cannons can put like 5 wounds on, and that's really scary. But like I don't know. I see, like you said, I see a lot of 20s and a lot of 0s with this list. I'm going to see like 4 20s and then 2 0s where he just gets blown off the board or something really bad happens. Like if the keeper goes down, those Soul Grinders are leadership 7.
Yeah,
and it is not
stick the keeper behind the Soul Grinders from
Kill. Yeah, it is not. That was when we talk to people about beating this list. I tell people like you don't realize how easy it is to kill Soul Grinders through combat res. It isn't stoppable.
Don't they have like 5 attacks counting the claw?
They have 4.
Well, and the claw, right? So 5.
No, the claw isn't an extra attack. It replaces one of your attacks.
Oh, so they have 4 attacks.
They have 4 attacks at weapon skill 3. It is so easy to pop a Soul Grinder.
And there's no
mounted combat res. Yeah, exactly. Your weapon skill 3, not -1. You're just toughness 7, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, like 6 Wild Riders into those. Like you're gonna do like 2 wounds.
That's what
I've got a banner and a charge.
This is why the whip not being here confuses me so much, is because when I look at this list, I look at something that's going to go around the side and use the the 18-inch movement, lone model mobility, and flamer you and
remember if you the one big thing that I was doing
and move and flamer.
Remember you can't march and use the whip, which is
right. But still, there's a lot of lone models with like very easy movement and ranged attacks. But here's the thing. I feel like you could play, especially with Choir and Acquiescence, you could play that list this way. But because of the 75-25 choice, I don't think he's going to.
No, he's not going to. I think he's going to shove on people, and he is going to say, deal with my 4 monsters. Like you're up front, you're going to have the 3, and then the keeper's going to be behind as a second wave. And if that's only if you have something that can shoot the keeper off. If you don't have anything to shoot the keeper off, he's coming in from the flank.
Yeah.
So
this is a terrible matchup for me.
I love it.
I can't deal with the stupid level 4 Slanesh.
I would love to play it. This is honestly like there's 3 demon armies, and I don't know what the other demon army is, but this is one of the other 2 I'm fine with playing. Like this one just puts you on such a skew that like so many things can go wrong so quickly.
Oh my god, I can't deal with choir. I would just lose this match. There's no way.
There's a lot of this is another one of those games where like I think if I go first, I'm gonna win, and if I don't, I'm gonna get crushed. So
Yeah.
but I love this list. I loved playing this type of list. It's so much fun. It's very fun to have 4 huge models and just shove them across the board and say deal with it.
All right,
Some
next.
people can't. Some people just can't. More ogres. This is the Lord Inquisitor. He's the only one that took a Spain Hydra so far. But he went really low comp. He took the 6 mana. Honestly, this list is like pretty normal, except he somehow found points to get a Spitting Hydra in here. He's got 3 ogres, 3
It
ogres.
looks like the banners don't have a flaming banner.
They don't, but they still have Poison Stubborn, which is really good. So
Feels like would make sense for them to have flaming, but
they have
And
pistols.
He took the damn sword anti-heroes too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and screw you for taking the sword anti-heroes.
He just can't wait to play you again.
Ugh. How many characters does he have in there?
3.
So
He's got the Ruin Maw.
He's got the Ruin Maw. Does he have Hellheart?
No, he's got
no.
a scroll.
Okay, no Hellheart. So
He's got the scroll.
those Iron Guts are not unbeatable, but that Slaughtermaster with the sword anti-heroes.
He's got 2 up armor.
And OTS.
And OTS. And the Fire Ward.
Ugh, unhappy. Unhappy. I hate you, Owen. Ugh.
6 lead belchers is pretty nasty. Spitting Hydra is very strong. I think the Spitting Hydra is very annoying.
I think it's good in this list. That makes sense. Because he can't really have as much range as he would quite like to.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the list that's going to win the tournament. The Dwarves. The Phil Carl. The unbeatable master. Oh my god. Dwarf Lord. The standard Dwarf Lord from Phil Carl with the shield barrows is just going to ruin some monsters. I don't even know what any of this stuff does. I just know he's got 2 scrolls. One's a eater, one's a breaker.
You don't know what the ruin of Snorri's Spanglehelm does? How do you not know that?
What does it do?
I have no clue.
I have no idea. He's got I'm guessing warding is the 4-up ward.
Yeah.
Wound of Might is the if you're toughness 5 or above, he's strength 8.
Yeah.
Shield Bearers makes you the 5 wounds guy.
Yeah.
Rune of Stone, I'm pretty sure is armor. Spiral Breaking times 2 is the Spell Eater, so he's got 1 eater. He's got 1 breaker. Fine, whatever. He's got
Which one is Master Rune of Gromgil?
I don't know, actually. I don't know what that does.
He doesn't have the. It looks like he doesn't have the one that gives like the 4-up ward.
No, he doesn't have the. It's a 5-up ward, but it's a it's the grungy.
It gives the BSB a 4-up ward.
Oh, okay. No, the BSB does not have a ward. I don't think. I think ward is Rune of Warding because it's the 6-up, 5-up.
Banner that gives a 5-up.
The banner that gives the 5-up gives but that's I'm pretty sure Master Banner or it's Master Rune of Grungy. I think is what that is.
And also, Gromgil and Grungy sound very similar.
No, but you can't take these if you have that.
Yeah.
Because it's a BSB type thing, so it's definitely not that.
Right. Okay.
It's got 21 Longbeards with the Great Weapon.
Some unknown number.
It's got some Warlords.
It's actually
some unknown number.
Wait. Let's figure out how many Crawlers he has. They got great weapons. He's got 360 points in Longbeards, which means he's got 240, 265, 14, 10, 20. That's 280. He's got he's got about 20 Crawlers.
He usually runs like 12 from the list I've played.
Well, but there's only 2 units of core, so you just take 625 and subtract the Longbeard cost.
He might have command in there. No, let's say 30 for command.
So it's somewhere between 15 and 20 Crawlers.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like 16 probably, because he's got the great weapons. He's got the 2 cannons. They're both flaming. Ooh, they're both flaming.
Yeah. No.
One's flaming. Forging is the reroll on the misfire. That's what it is. Okay, only one's flaming. Okay. Whew. I was really worried for a second.
Note that he doesn't
that's
have
not good.
he doesn't have any of the flamer templates on the gyrocopters.
No, he does not. He has the guns,
because
which is kind of a big deal.
It is. I mean, the flamers templates are rightly counted into the War Machine points, so he's not taking those. And the guns suck.
Mhm.
So, but they're
But he
still,
has
I mean, they're still gyrocopters. They're still really
He's
useful.
got an organ gun with Rune of Accuracy. He's got a Grudge Thrower with Rune of Accuracy. He's got the Grudge Thrower, is now a 10-5.
Yeah.
Whew.
You're looking at 4 war machines, 2 diverters,
And then just blocks. Just
and just blocks.
balls. And the Dwarf Lord will kill things.
Yeah.
You've got the Runesmith, gives you armor piercing on these great weapon guys. Just annoying.
What is his combat?
14 flat.
All right. So, if I was him, I would cut the hammers for another war machine and a monster.
And a monster.
Mm-hmm.
I would take another organ.
He said he really likes the hammers.
Mhm.
I don't think they do anything really that the Longbeards don't. I mean, you have a second block, that's nice, but like, I kind of feel like they're overrated right now.
I honestly don't think he has enough bodies.
Really? You think the opposite? Hmm.
I
I guess
I
there's
don't
only
like
21 Longbeards.
21 Longbeards is not a lot of bodies. For a
That's
5-up armor.
with great weapons.
For 5-up armor, 4
Yeah.
toughness, that is not a lot.
So you think?
there are a lot of stuff they can pull off.
Yeah.
21 guys.
Well, yeah. If the
then you're in
Longbeards were
trouble.
just great weapon warriors, you'd have some more bodies in there.
Like, I am so happy to siege 6 dwarves because what I'm hoping for is my turn 1 and 2, I get to play ogres, and then I play 2 dwarves, and I play 2 people that the dwarves crushed. Or no, that didn't crush the dwarves. Because I'm hoping all the warrior players bounce off these dwarves. Like, all these monsters bounce off the dwarves, and I get to play the dwarves late. Because my army crushes this army. Absolutely crushes this army. Because all that needs to go down is this organ gun, and I do not care. There's nothing in this army killing me.
Funnily enough, if he had the templates of the gyrocopters,
It would be awful.
It would be a totally different matchup.
It would be totally different. Yeah, it would be totally different, but he doesn't. He literally, this organ gun goes down, I make my guys 1 wide, so this thing doesn't do anything. I don't care. Quarrelers won't hit me hard. Quarrelers can just get shot off. That's what I'm talking. 10 Weight Watchers shooting multi-tap into Longbeards does 5 wounds.
They're T4.
The T4, then 6-up save.
I think you're better off shooting the war machines.
Oh, well, I mean, but the cannons don't do anything. Cannons literally kill a guy.
But point-wise, you're better off shooting the war machines.
Okay, point-wise, yes. I'm going to shoot the war machines. The Wild Riders are going to go after that.
Mm-hmm.
The Wild Riders going into these units will destroy these units. They literally can almost delete these units.
Can they?
Yeah. 6 Wild Riders into the front. If everybody gets to attack, and I don't have to put any attacks on characters, but he's not going to give me this because I'll just kill them. I've got, 6 times 3 plus 1 is 19 attacks from guys, which are hitting on 3s, rerolls, and then wounding on 3s with no saves. And then I have 12 more mount attacks, which are strength 4, which are going before him as well.
You're going to kill 10 to 12 guys.
No.
Right?
No.
18, 3's rerollable, 16, you lose the third, 9. The mounts get 3 or 4. Yeah, 12, 13 guys.
Okay, about 12 to 13 guys. But the point is, if I kill 12 to 13 guys with just 1 unit, and this is before any other stuff happens.
Yeah.
If you have 7 hammer, 12 to 13 guys.
I think you're better off just looking for a flank with those. He's got movement 3 blocks. Your Wild Riders
I know. I'm going
to go for a flank on a block.
But again, this isn't going to happen until turn 3, and there's magic coming in, there's shooting coming in.
Yes. Congratulations, you have a good matchup against dwarves. You're the only one.
I'm very happy. Phil told me that the one day, he was like, my worst matchup is Wood Elves. They've 20-0'd me every time.
Yeah.
Because the main reason is because of this. This Dwarf Lord is useless against Wood Elves.
Doesn't do anything. That's what... It's just
he only kills...
It's amazing it's me and useless.
It only kills strong characters and monsters. If it's up against
elf characters.
And against elves,
Elf characters doesn't do anything.
Yeah. He doesn't do anything. He's a strength 4 attacks.
But he's great against my Chaos Lords. Alright, next list?
I think it's a lot of Dwarf hate after that. Oh, here we go. Here's a Dark Elf. There's a lot of Dwarf hate after that, because that list was posted, and he's like, you didn't take the monster? He's like, you still got a 14?
Yeah.
He's a piece of garbage.
So I read through this list.
This is the cold one bus.
Yeah, it's very reliant on the cold one bus. I think that this is a good list to sort of show what happened to the Dark Elves in Swedish. It's he had to make so many concessions to get within the right comp range. I mean, what are those Corsairs gonna do? Be a bunker? What are those like 10 sisters with full command and eternal? That unit is like 200 points for 10 T3 no save wounds from shooting. I understand why he's using it. He's using it because he can get it in the flank in close combat, and then it can be a real problem for your opponent because
They
those
have to
are
get there.
hordes.
Is the problem.
But they have to get that. They're incredibly expensive, and they are paper to knock over. There's a reason they're comp light, especially in a small unit like that. They're really not strong. Cold One Knights, having played with Cold One Knights, having played with a Cold One Knight bus, and with small units of Cold One Knights,
Garbage.
at very lightly comped, they're still drastically overcomped.
Garbage.
Maybe if they were free, I might take some.
Mhm.
I could take them at like 1 or 2 comp.
The big difference is the 2-up versus 1-up armor.
Well, and that
I think.
The other issue is flyers and fast cav, and they only hit hard on the charge, but they're too slow to reliably get the charge in the current meta. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of strength 4 attacks.
You know what I see?
Sword of fucking heroes. And another card. He's got both items that are dead at half effective, but amazing against me. I mean, I feel like I'm not really worried about this list, and I'm not sure who's playing it, but it has nothing to do with the general. It's just that Dark Elves make so many concessions in Swedish that it's
we played the cold one buses, and the cold ones themselves are just so bad. Like we've played it. Like I'm not scared. I love it when my opponent take cold one knights. They're usually just dead. They're dead points.
This is what happens when you just ban Warlocks in Swedish. I'm definitely not bitter about that.
I don't see any Warlocks. Like,
of course there are. They're 24 points for 5. For the fast cav unit that's a caster is 24 comp points. That's the same as Skull Crushers. They're half the points in game.
Dwarf hate, dwarf hate, dwarf hate.
So much dwarf hate. It's not that it's illegitimate dwarf hate. It's a lot of dwarf hate.
Pages of dwarf hate. Oh my goodness. Everybody's like, I'd rather play dwarves than demons. And then people are like, nah. Alright, so here's Marcus's. Unfortunately, I don't think Marcus said he was going to be able to make it, but he was a orc. Yeah. This looks like a pretty standard.
A Ragnarok? He's got a double. No, it's not standard. He got one Doom Diver.
Like, yeah, biggins, goblins, yeah, goblins, trolls, wolf chariots. Ooh.
The first part, yeah, the first part's normal, but then it goes up to something a little more interesting.
So basically, he only took one Doom Diver. He took the Great Spine guy, which I think was better last year when we were only limited to 250. But he's still good. I just don't think there was. I think there were better choices this year. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be
magical and poison, but no killing blow. I like killing blow better than poison on the Harpies.
Depends on what you go after.
It's just so much. Well, I mean, there's so many times where they just stand in front of something to die. It's hilarious to randomly kill their general when you do that.
So here's the last list from that was posted publicly. Was another Tomb King? See, like you've got the level 4. He's got the comp. It's only minus.
Look at that. It's 37 comp for 2 level 4s.
My level 3 with nothing on him is minus 18 comp.
This is what I would
a level 4 is minus 28. He's literally getting plus 13 comp for taking a level 4 on a different lore. It's amazing. But whatever. He's got some warriors. He's got archers. He's running the 4 these guys, which is hilarious because they have killing blow.
Yeah, they all have killing blow.
Have fun with that.
That's not a problem for me. I just don't make way with that one character who can be killing blowed. But the casket's a problem.
I love the casket. I think everybody should have taken 2 caskets.
I think this is going to be a fun list to play and to play against. I don't think, like, even for Tomb Kings, this is not a particularly powerful list because he doesn't have a ton of range. But Necropolis Knights...
No catapults.
Yeah, no catapults is a problem. I mean, he's not really forcing you to come at him. A level 4 light with no support means no banishment. He doesn't have a huge magic threat. He doesn't have a huge rain threat. The casket's also part of the magic phase, and if you're countering the casket, like there's nothing else. There's no other big nukes in here, so it's basically a Tomb King combat list.
Mm-hmm. Which we know how well those work.
Which, good for him. The Necro Knights look awesome, and I don't think it'll be that great. It might be good against you, which is funny because Necro Knights have a 3-up armor. And
I played him and I won 15-5.
Okay.
So, but he did make some changes in there. He added some archers and he took away.
What if he goes first?
He did go first in that matchup, actually.
But the problem is Necro Knights can't march.
Mm-hmm. And that was the big problem, is the Necro Knights being 4-up armor when I shoot at them, they take too long to get there, and the Wild Riders literally destroy them.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So these were my privately sent ones. So these two I really want to go over because they sent them to me just to review. So this is a Ogre Kingdom army at 13.8, and this was basically the most basic, like, in-house Ogre army besides this that I loved. I absolutely love this.
Holy shit.
I love this.
Iron Guts.
Yeah, 12 Iron Guts. But this is what makes my day. The Stonehorn Hunter with the Ogre Blade and the Charm Shield and the Potion of Speed.
You know what?
I love it.
You know what is funny about this is there was a debate on one of the other forums how the Stonehorn reads, because it has a special rule. It says when hit by shooting, you randomize to the. It might even say when hit by a cannon specifically, you randomize to the hunter on a 5-up, which I think the Stonehorn is like the only thing in the game where you have a hunter and rider where the cannon actually does not hit both.
Hit both, yeah.
Yeah. Which makes this, with the Charm Shield on there, I mean, this is a monster that cannons have a problem with.
And cannons do half wounds to the Stonehorn.
Right, so you're shooting at it, you're hoping to get the hunter, then you gotta get rid of the Charm Shield. You hit the Stonehorn, on average you're doing like 2 wounds. It's got 6. That's
the Stonehorn, I love Stonehorns. I love Stonehorns. I think you should take 2.
I mean, look at it. Honestly, does he not have a cannon? He does have a cannon.
No, he has a cannon.
Low comp.
And he's got a Bale Taurus.
I guess, I mean, the Stonehorn is very light comp.
The Stonehorn on a hunter, I'm pretty sure, is like -8. Like, it's like nothing.
That is a good choice. Okay.
He's 7 Man-Eaters with Banner of Eternal Flame, Brace of Ogre Pistols, Poison Attacks. He's literally got
that large of a
13.8. I am terrified to play this list. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I don't know who this is.
I do not know who this is. His name is Grix on the line. I don't know who this is.
It's not the Ogre player I'm playing round 1 that I don't know the name of.
This army is terrified. He's got the Scouting Saber Tusk. Oh, he might actually be able to take that. I think that's a mistake. He probably can't take that.
No, there are no Saber Tusks in the main list.
I thought you weren't even allowed. Oh, okay.
No. He only can't take it
if he took the Saber Tusk.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then
it's just part of the reason he's a 13.8 because he didn't take any lone Saber Tusks, and they're very competent.
Yeah. But God, I love this army. This looks like this is probably my favorite Ogre army I could have.
The only real mistake I see here is the Bale Taurus has the plus attack, but did not buy armor.
Yes. But I mean, okay, yeah, that.
I feel like you should need to have armor on there.
I think instead of the attack and strength, I would have gone for the armor. But
well, because it's only +1 strength to that 1 attack.
I probably would have tried to get the armor in there instead of the attack. I don't even like the attack that much over there. If I had to choose armor over attack, I'd always choose armor.
Yeah, I mean, the 4-up doesn't seem like a lot until you realize that the Bale Taurus is super vulnerable to anything with poison.
The poison, yeah. And a lot of poison is strength 3. Is the big deal. So, but I like that. Like, I love this list. It's got 12 Iron Guts with Dragon Hide Banner.
Sniper Flaming. I don't know about. I mean, that feels a little bit counter. It makes them a little more versatile, but a lot of sniper targets are going to have Flaming Lords. I kind of like.
I don't think so.
Characters often have Flaming Lords, and
no, but the mages usually won't have Flaming Lords.
Oh, the mages won't. That's true.
And the mages are what he's going to aim at. Like, I am terrified.
I'd rather that sniper be scout.
I'm terrified to play this list.
Yeah.
Because this guy can walk forward and try and start sniping my mages out of my rangers, and I have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
The Stonehorn is a huge problem, and he has a Bale Taurus. Stupid Bale
Yeah.
Taurus.
Yeah. This guy is
I love this
totally
list.
kill you.
I love this list. And
So
then
I,
I
really
only got
don't
one
know what
other.
his name is because I don't know the ogre player's name.
I'm sure he'll say something. If he watches this, I want him to say something to me. All right, we'll see him. I'll try and hunt him down at the tournament. So this is from Joel because I've played Joel in the past, and Joel is taking double General on Griffin. This is the all 1-up armor.
Oh my god.
Or the 2-up armor, 1-up armor Empire list.
Whoa.
It's all flying, and this looks so fun.
Oh my god. So he's got all knights, generals on griffins, captains on pegs, and it seems he's playing like dark elves with Empire.
Mm-hmm. And he's a 15.5 with an Etten.
That's great. That's not a bad list. Some of these like unorthodox lists are really pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I love these lists.
Dwarves, but
I don't necessarily like the Shadow. I don't think that fits really well. I actually would have rather seen Heavens.
yeah, I also and Jake D is not gonna like this, but I don't like Shadow on level 2s. Because the casting value for Shadow spells tends to be so high that I think it generally needs to be on level 4.
Mm-hmm.
I've played with Shadow on level 2s before, and you're looking at Miasma and Enfeebling Foe, great. For him, the movement spell is actually not bad.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the traditional power spells in Shadow, Withering is 13. You can't. I mean, you're 4-dicing that, and it's still not safe.
Mm-hmm.
And Withering Pit and Mind Razor are all very.
You have to 6-dice them.
Safe casts. Yeah.
The one thing I don't like about this is you don't have a good Mind Razor target.
Well, and the other issue with Shadow here is because you have to 4, 5, and 6-dice stuff. Mm-hmm. Look at where those wizards are going. They're going in 5-man knight units.
Yeah.
They're gonna blow up.
Yeah.
So I like the list. I like it with all the flyers. I like that he can use the movement spell, Miasma from Shadow. I think he's probably gonna have a couple games where he sort of loses the game to his own wizards blowing up 5-man knight units.
Or just not having useful magic, I think.
Well, also, I mean, literally 5-man means you lose Lookout Star on those wizards as soon as one knight dies. So the first miscast, and there's no Lookout Star on those wizards.
Mm-hmm. I like the list, though. I love the double General on Griffin.
I like that he fit in the Steam Tank in a 15.5.
Yeah.
I guess because of the double General.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty funny. That really is pretty funny. I've never seen that. I think most people probably don't even own 2 Griffins for Empire.
They probably don't. But yeah, I'm really excited for this tournament. Looking for the overlay, the army distribution real quick.
Oh yeah, and then you can go to the pairings. I'd like to talk about the pairings a little bit.
Oh yeah, pairings. That's probably better on here.
Okay. Well, that doesn't actually have the pairings. Oh, I guess it's the sort of. You're not.
It's the one person right next to each other. Yeah, you go.
Most of the time. No, I'm not, for example.
Oh really? No, he's right above you.
Oh, he is. You're right. Yep.
So I'm matched up against ogres first, and I'm not sure what this ogre list was because I know he didn't send it in, but that'll be interesting. I think my ogre matchup is 50-50. That's one of the few matchups I think even if I don't go first.
Why do you think your ogre matchup's 50-50? I think it's 50-50 if you go second. Maybe.
No, that's what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if I go second, I'm 50-50. Whereas, usually, if I go first, I think I'm winning. I don't think I'm losing if I go first. But that's a lot of my games.
Look at the difference between table 13 and 14 comp-wise. Oh, it's not organized by comp.
It's not organized by comp, yeah.
I see, okay. I was like, that's a huge jump. Okay.
No.
But the pairings are based on comp.
Mm-hmm. Tom Jeter with the 10.
Really? I'm taking the filth.
The average comp was like a 14.
Yeah. So you're playing Shannon first round.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see Shannon's list. I'm guessing he's gonna have Hellheart, which could be really bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
I put money. I put probably 3-1 on him having Hellheart and a Fire Belly.
Mm-hmm. So no scroll.
I don't know if he'll go double tax, probably not, but I don't think I've ever seen him play without Hellheart.
Mhm.
Um, I suspect there'll be a secondary unit of ogres that he can throw up with Hellheart on the fire belly, and that you're gonna have to be really careful about that with your 3 level
That's
priest.
fine though, because the one good thing about that is the priests usually hang back. They're always on the corners. There's not a lot of miscasts besides down the hole that are like they don't need to get close. The thing about this army is like it's usually just casting buffs, and like the Wild Riders do. Like if he tries to sack to Hellheart, like he's going to lose the unit
Or just the model.
or just the model. But if he brings him out and he's not in range, like he has to basically it's going to be like he has to roll like a 5 or a 4. Probably going to be like a 4.
Well, I think that that's your worry in the matchup is he will
Yes.
probably have Hellheart and be a problem. The Iron Blaster is just gonna take out your chaff. Um, I think you'll be fine. I feel like that's a good matchup for you,
I would love to play ogres.
and you're
Ogres
going to.
Yep.
Now, Chris Johnson, Bromance Wargaming.
Mhm.
I feel
No
like
idea.
I've seen that name before.
I don't think he's Grix.
Okay.
I think
There's
Grix.
3 Bromance Wargamings there.
Okay, so I know
Landed
it's not
odds.
Shannon. So let's go down to ogres because I know
Okay.
it's not Shannon because Shannon's like shark something. I know it's not Tom because Tom is Blue Tony.
Mhm.
Chris Johnson is a possibility. You've got Keith and I think it's Vince.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Right.
pretty sure
Oh,
Vince
Fancy Lads. Yeah. It's probably Vince. Okay.
because I recognize Vince from last Grail Quest because he took
Uh-huh.
the 0.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he
Oh,
was
that's
one of the
funny.
4 people that took the 0.
Okay. All right.
And so I'm pretty sure it's Vince.
Okay.
If I had to, if
Mhm.
I had to take a guess, I would say it was Vince.
So, okay, so let's look at some of the other interesting matches.
So table 1, the our favorite to win the tournament, Eric with his Lizardman against that Slanesh Demon Soul
No, is
Grinder
that what that
army.
is?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's Quentin.
Interesting.
I love that. That game is on table 1, and that is going to be recorded live, and I want to watch it.
Well,
I'm
that's going to have
so
probably 2 best
excited.
painted armies, I'm guessing, too.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Q said his demon army wasn't as well painted as
Okay.
his. It was. He said it was one of his least well painted ones,
So
but
who do you think's going to win this?
I think Gurn's going to win small.
Mm-hmm. I think Gurn has a good chance of winning big here.
Really,
Yeah, because those Soul Grinders have 4-up armors, which normally you don't think of because it rarely comes into play with things that can actually hurt the Soul Grinder, but it does
Gurn has
make
a
them
lot of
vulnerable to
poison.
Searing Doom.
Yeah, and also he has poison. Well, the Searing Doom's going at the Shard Dragon.
Unless it's not a threat yet.
Well, that's true, but the Searing
Yeah,
Doom
the
is
Searing Doom's
good.
amazing against the Shard Dragon.
If
Gurn has
he
a ton of
spreads out the
redirectors.
wings, yeah, he's got a ton of redirectors. He's got a lot of poison.
0 flyers.
Mhm.
No
Those
dealing with
flyers
double
in the
flee.
flank. Yeah, those flyers running into the flank of Soul Grinders is really bad.
Is it? Is it really? There's no killing. I mean,
The Skink Chief is.
Hmm?
There's no killing blow from Soul Grinders.
No,
They have a
there's no
one-up
killing
rerollable.
blow on the Soul Grinder. Those flyers don't do that much damage.
No, but they charge in the flank.
Oh, and you know what? He can mark them. He can frog mark both of them.
Yeah.
And
You know,
then
that's not a huge deal. The point is,
it's plus 6 attacks for the frog mark and allows him to reroll to hit.
yeah, you still need 6s to wound, but I guess like you could pop him in 1 round. The big deal is the poison. Like the poison does do, it makes you take saves. The keeper can't come near this army.
Right, because it's just going to get concentrated
And
poison.
if he goes for a Caco Bomb and he misses, he's done. He loses the game immediately.
Right.
Which I think he knows, and I think that's why it's like a last resort type thing. Because like if he misses even if he gets the Caco Bomb, they can all just D6 face him and shoot him. They didn't march. Like he's gonna have enough to pull him down with.
I think Gurn has a chance of getting. I'm giving Gurn a 15 here.
Okay, I think that's fair.
So what other interesting matchups do we have?
My match, I'll say I get a 15. Roger Yan versus Ryan is going to be very interesting.
Who's Ryan? Is that the
Ryan was
Midwest
the
guy?
Midwest master that moved here,
Oh, okay.
playing a Gunline Empire list against Roger's Warriors list.
Ooh, that's rough for Roger.
I'm pretty sure Ryan has 2 cannons and banishment.
Yeah, that's not good. Well, banishment's not so much of an issue because he can always hide his guys, but
Hmm.
it makes it hard to get to the cannons. And banishment is a big issue for the Bale Taurus.
Hmm.
Yeah, that
Um,
feels. I would rather be playing Empire in this match.
where are our dwarves at? These are what matter. So
Where are the dwarves at?
this is bad, I think, because this was my prime example of that unicorn is going to be dead.
How many cannons? It depends how many cannons he has.
He's
Here's,
probably going to have 2.
here's the thing. So you got 2 cannons. You got a choice. You can shoot the Bale Taurus, which is going to be on your War Machine's turn
You don't
2.
have a. He doesn't have a Veil Taurus. He has a Basilisk.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that
Maybe. Well,
unicorn.
you know what? There's still buildings and there's still impassable on the table.
Hope he can hide.
Those dwarf cannons can't move. There is a very real chance, maybe like 60%, that he's going to have something to hide behind.
Hmm. But that's
Otherwise, I agree.
that's a problem. That's a dwarf win, I'm pretty sure, because the Wood Elf, he only has 1 poison unit, and the rest don't hurt the War Machines better than just regular bows. Like, I'm pretty sure he's got Starfire, which doesn't do anything, Arcane Botkins, which, oh no, he takes away a 6-up save, and he's got True Flight, which is good, but you still...
20 but 20 by Wood Elves.
Yeah, okay, I give dwarves a win there.
I think that this is going to be very dependent on the table because John has 2 cannon targets, and if he can hide them, I think that he has an advantage in that he doesn't have anything else that cares that much about cannons, and he should be able to get a small win. If he can't hide them, then yeah, I think dwarves win.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. That doesn't look good for Warriors.
No.
We got a dwarf versus Warriors straight off the bat.
Yeah, that's probably
So,
tough.
so that's Paul's might get shot off the board there. That's a dwarf win, most likely. You've got dwarfs against Tomb Kings. That's
You guys even
interesting.
talk about my match. It's hurtful. It's hurtful.
Oh, no, well, we don't know what this overall list is. So like, it could be good and we could be bad, but like I think normally like a blank ogre list I think is a 15-5 for you. Medium win to big win. But like there's also scenarios where you
got star.
Yeah, there's scenarios where like the list is like scary to go into, but there's scenarios when the list isn't scary to go into. So like that's a hard.
We'll just see if he looked at Owen's list and was like, yeah, Sword of Antiheroes feels like a good idea. I'm going to take that.
Yeah.
And then they're like, fuck you, Owen.
Cry. So like that's
the next match is
it's
interesting.
a hard gauge. Houseman versus
I think
Travis.
if he doesn't have Hellheart and if he doesn't have Sword of Antiheroes, I'll give myself a 15. If he has those things I have to play around, I'm going to be trying to get like an 11 or 12 because I can't just run straight into those items.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But again, my point was that list is very dependent on items over units.
So my wife just handed me some. She handed me some what looks like apple cider. It is actually whiskey and apple cider. I'm like, oh, that's surprisingly whiskey filled.
So this is a great matchup.
Travis, yeah.
2 really high mobile armies, which are going to be dancing around each other. But I see that as a 20-0 either way.
Yeah, I think so, especially because Dan's running beasts. It's gonna.
I think when the engagement goes off,
dissolving or not.
Yeah, I think when the engagement goes off, it's an all-in engagement. Like it's not. There aren't going to be a lot of tangents there besides somebody just getting crushed.
Yeah, I agree.
Dwarves versus Tomb Kings, looking good for the dwarves. That's a 16 dwarf list. That's interesting. That's a 16.
Oh, you know what? That's Chris Cardamone. I think that is Matt Irby's friend. I'm guessing it's probably not going to be all combat dwarves. I'm guessing it'll be 3 big blocks with maybe 3 war machines. With a variety in the war machines, like 1 cannon, 1 grudge thrower, 1 organ gun. So it really depends on what's in the Tomb King list. Like if he's bringing monsters, he's got some problems, but he may not be bringing monsters, and then
he could be bringing like Tomb Guard. Yeah, Tomb Guard would be really good there.
if he's bringing a list without high point value cannon targets, if he's got a couple low point value cannon targets, it's not that big a deal. If he's bringing a list without stuff that can easily be shot off, he's probably going to be in an okay place. The dwarf list probably at 16 has a monster in it, and he's probably going to have, at least, what's it called, the casket to shoot at that. I don't know. I feel like that match could be pretty even without knowing what the lists are.
Without knowing what the lists are, that'll be an interesting game. Originally, they had both Bretonian players playing each other, and I thought that was hilarious. They had.
So these matches could change though, right? Because
well, I know that list changed.
Above 14. So anything above 14, the matchups can change.
I know Chad was originally playing. Chad is one of the two. He's once bitten, and he was playing the other Bretonia player, and they were like, "Come on, give us a chance."
Well, where is Chad on here?
I'm pretty sure he got moved down somewhere.
Look.
Yeah, he's pretty sure he's really far down.
There it is. Nope, no, that's Beastman.
That's Jake. Chad, right there.
Where?
Playing Joel. He's playing Joel.
Joel's taking. Oh, that's Joel. Oh, is that Joel? Joel's taking.
Yeah, that's Joel. Yep.
Oh, that's the guy. Joel usually plays a pretty traditional Empire list with us.
He went really extreme.
Oh, good for him. Well, Griffin is actually kind of a problem for Chad. I think that there's going to be a lot of that game coming down to whether or not those trebs hit before the 4 flyers get to them. Chad, I have a strategy for you. I'm giving you secret advice. You should probably
Chad is running Heavens. Should be interesting.
Chad, castle. Right up in that corner there. Pretend you're a dwarf, Chad.
So that was that. We got our looking for the dwarf matchups.
I need more of that whiskey juice. That was good.
We've got our ogre on ogre. We've got ogres versus another 16 dwarves. Wow.
Playing
ogres. That'll be
heroes.
That'll be interesting. Another 2 16 dwarves. Wow.
I think it's just not that hard to get a few war machines and 16 dwarves.
Because Phil got the 14 without a monster. So honestly, yeah. Now that I've said that, yeah, he's still probably got the 3 war machines. He's good.
Who is Owen playing? Have we seen?
Owen is all the way at the bottom. He's playing Ian. He was playing Warriors of Chaos.
Oh, I just wanted Owen to always get paired against someone who doesn't care about sword anti-heroes like every round.
Phil is playing a vampire.
Rounds in a row.
So that'll be interesting. That's an interesting matchup for the dwarves there. Vampire
That's a pretty good matchup for the dwarves. Because Jason's going to have 1 Terrorgeist, because all the vampire counts are going to have 1 Terrorgeist, and he's going to get shot with cannons every turn. We skipped over one interesting matchup. Where is it?
Jake has pulled
Dawn versus
Echoes.
Look at
Dawn
26.
Yes, Wood Elves versus Empire. We've talked about this. I have no idea what Dawn is bringing.
Well, I thought Keith was bringing Skaven, and then I was like, that is very bad for Dawn. But now that it's Empire, I don't know. I don't think Wood Elves like 5 demis though.
That's the problem. I've played against that list. The level 2 light is really, really bad for this army because Shims is a fireball, and if you roll net, banishment, or just net or banishment. So you're 50-50. You've got a pretty good chance of getting, like, what if you roll net or banishment or doubles? You get Shims.
Playing.
He's playing what else? But honestly, that was the other thing. I have no idea what Don is playing. I know this is like his first comped tournament besides the ETC. And with the new book, like, I have no idea what he's going to.
Some of it is going to be constrained by what he's already gotten painted, I would guess. So.
I'm guessing double Wild Riders because I talked to him about it, and I was really convincing of that, I'm pretty sure. But I have no idea what he's going to do.
Well, he's down to 13, so it's not particularly high comp. I mean, I think a fairly safe assumption is Glade Guard, Wild Riders.
You know who we just want to lose? There's 2 people that just deserve to lose, and I see one right there, and one right there.
Oh.
And I hope both of them.
Somebody's not taking the Games Workshop approved book. But Chaos Dwarfs are hit so hard in Swedish that I don't feel. I think Swedish is the only environment where I'm like, I'm okay with you playing Chaos Dwarfs. Until
And look at their
all
comps.
Flames of
Look at their
Azeroth,
comps.
after which I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
What are
Look
the
at their comps.
12 and
11.7, 12.7. They're
yeah,
averaging at a
Colin and I built some of these lists. That's a pretty soft Chaos Dwarf list. It's
yeah.
it's not like terribly soft, but it does not. They're running a level 4 on a shoot, or whether or not they're taking a different lore. I feel like the sacrifice is almost worth it. Like from across the table, that's what's so scary is lore.
Shoot is so scary.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of comp concessions you have to make. So Chaos Dwarfs is definitely not a lightly comped army.
But yeah, I'm really excited. Where's some more dwarfs?
I'm guessing that Gary, who's not going to post his list, or he'll be goaded into posting it because you're not going to post it. Too scared to post it. Anyway, Jerry.
Wait, what? No, Jerry.
I'm taking.
Everybody's going to be like, this is garbage.
2 Iron Demons and no Kodai. That's my guess. Taking the big blunderbuss unit, 2 Iron Demons, no Kodai.
So I've got dwarves on Dark Elves there. Where's the other dwarf? There should be one more dwarf. But yeah, it's another 16 dwarves.
I think it's just not that hard because those are really like 12.5 dwarves because of the 350 points, right? I mean, they're not.
I'm excited.
They have war machines and blocks. Ugh.
I'm excited that all these dwarves are going to have like plus 200 points on people, so they have to come at them.
Oh God!
And then they're just going to blow off even more points. It's exciting.
Yeah, I can't.
So for people that didn't know, that dwarves were the second most popular, tied
with Wood Elves.
No, there was like a 4-way tie for second.
Yeah, it's ogres, warriors, dwarves, and something. But Wood Elves was first.
Yeah, no, ogres was first. Wood Elves were second.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right.
The average comp came in at a 14.12. It's really nice. The averages were pretty high. Your big low balls were ogres, Skaven, Chaos Dwarves. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Chaos Dwarves 12.2.
Skaven and Chaos Dwarves.
Skaven, Chaos Dwarves really low.
Surprise to go low comp.
And then the army saturation was 1 beastman, 2.
That does not make sense to me.
No, see, so like this was there's a lot of 6. Like you got 6 warriors, 6 empire, 6 dwarves, 6 dark elves. You got 8 ogres, 7 wood elves.
The only reason I can see dark elves in Swedish right now is because you don't have another army. That's a very
walking dark elves, people like playing huge blocks of infantry. Like an executioner / witch block. That was pretty popular. I'm not saying it's good, but it was popular.
Yeah, I don't like where dark elves are right now. I don't think they're in a good place. I would rather be playing dark elves from a play perspective, but
I love this spread though. This spread is really
good
nice.
Spread. That you've got one of everything, and there's not really
got at least
a couple
one of everything.
2s, but like the stuff's 3s.
The Beastman was the only the army that didn't bring more than 1, and like the one list that we have, we've been playtesting it a lot. We expect it to do well.
I'm kind of surprised there's not more than 1 Beastman because I feel like they can get away with most of the things.
It's not hard to get a 16.
Yeah.
But the problem is like the extra monster really screws Beastman over, is what I'm pretty sure of, because like you got a lot of strength 3, strength 4 blocks of infantry that like a Bale Taurus literally just kills for free. Like a Bale Taurus in the 50 gore, those 50 gore are just dead.
Yeah.
And you don't even like
wound the Mind Razor, but he doesn't anymore. Honestly, a gore into a block of Bestigore, and the Bestigore lose to a Bale Taurus too. They're on 4s reroll successes.
Yeah. And he's killing usually like 2 to 3, with plus d6 and the strength 4 auto.
He's killing, so the strength 4 auto hits 4 guys. So that's going to be like 2 guys dead. He's going to do the regular attacks, it'll be 2 more guys, and then the Thunder Stomp will probably be 2 to 3 guys. Without the breath weapon, he's killing like 7. He's probably going to use the breath weapon first round, kill another 4. You're losing more than 10 Bestigore before you get to swing. You probably get 6 attacks back from the front, maybe?
You should get about 6, yeah. or 8. You should get 8.
Depending on how many.
You got no characters in the way. You should get 8.
No, but I'm saying you may lose enough guys before you get to go to reduce attacks. But even if you don't and you get 8, like 8's not that many. You're gonna do 2 wounds, maybe.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm very happy with this. I expect a early tournament. I'm very happy with Swedish. This is, if you have an advent against comp, look at this. Look at this spread. This is
you know what I really like about looking at those lists is we saw a lot of level 4s, and they are on the armies that tend to be less competitive in uncomp play. Like, because they don't get hit as hard, they can afford to take the level 4s. Like the Dark Elves and the High Elves and the Warriors, those are not the armies that have the luxury of taking level 4s in Swedish.
Just from Empire or army selection, this is such an advocate for comp, in my opinion. Like, look, you have a Beastman player, you have 2 Bretonia, you have 2 Chaos. Like, where are the Warriors? Warriors are the 3rd most picked army, and they're tied. They're tied for it with Dwarves. You have 3 Tomb Kings. You have 5.
It's a 4-way tie.
Yeah, it's a 4-way tie between Dwarves, Dark Elves, Empire, Warriors.
Yeah.
Like, you have 7 Wood Elves at this. You have every representation. It's a very good spread. Beastmen are really low, but like not a lot of people even own Beastmen, so like that's fair.
Yeah, I think there's also some bias there. Like, people only own so many armies. They're not going to really buy a new one to a tournament. So really, you're talking about people with multiple. What are they choosing to bring?
But still, the point is you have such a good spread. Whereas, like, say this was uncomped, there would be no Beastmen, there would be no Bretonia, there would be no Tomb Kings. You'd probably have like 2 Skaven. You might have like 3 Ogres, 1 Lizardman. And then you'd see this go up. This wouldn't change just because of the army limit, but this would go up significantly. This would go up significantly.
Dark Elves would double.
Yeah, Warriors would probably double. What else would go down quite a bit?
Would they?
Yeah, I think so. If in an uncomped, I would never take Wood Elves to uncomped. I would just take demons. Why would I want to play Wood Elves?
Not everybody has demons.
Okay. Well, of my 2 choices, I have a demon army and then a Wood Elf army. I'm not choosing Wood Elves.
For uncomped, yeah.
But well, then it doesn't matter. If you only have one, you can't say if you only have 1 army, you're always bringing that 1 army. The point is,
well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of this selection comes out of people just owning 1 army. I'm guessing half the people attending the tournament own 1 army, and so their selection is the same no matter what. But it is telling that, like, right, their choices are, like, Chad owns Empire. If you're playing uncomped, there's no good reason to be taking Bretts above Empire. Besides fun, but like as far as power level goes, he should be running an Empire gunline. But he's
not. He's playing the Bretonia, and like he has probably just as good a shot with Bretonia as he does Empire. Maybe slightly less, but like it's not that much different.
I mean, I'm taking it's still Warriors, but I'm taking the thing that gets hit less hard in Swedish. Who else is? Jake D is definitely taking something that he wouldn't otherwise take.
Yeah, he would never play B. He bought the army just for this tournament.
It also means for the people who want to take armies that they want to take them anyway. Like Gurn's taking lizards, he would probably take lizards on comp, but he wouldn't have the real shot in uncomp. Yeah. And he does here.
Yeah. So. Yay comp, yay Swedish, yay ETC. I actually like Swedish. My point was, as a personal opinion, I love Swedish for single tournaments, single person tournaments, ETC team tournaments. If I could play at a tournament, always choose those 2 comps and those 2 specifically for those types of tournaments.
Well, they're the main 2 out there.
No, I know, but like if I could say all tournaments are going to be like this, I would say all singles tournaments are going to run Swedish comp with caveats in there. Like you've got some changes, but I love Swedish comp because like look at the list. Every single list we went over has like some variation to like what a normal meta list is.
Honestly, the 2 closest lists are like me and Rogers, and they're both drastically different than the normal uncomp Warriors list.
You don't have a lot of chariots. Your wizards aren't level 4s. Like you don't have hell cannons.
Like you don't.
Yeah, you don't normally see that. Yeah, there were no demon princes.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a single demon prince yet.
So like that's honestly probably the biggest thing people complain about too is like flying death demon princes. Like I haven't seen one. How much death did you see at this tournament? on besides those level 2s from the Warriors, and like
Me and Jake.
and Jake is the only one with a level 4.
And he's playing on Beasts. Or he's
Mhm.
playing Beastman, so
Beastman.
get away
So
with it.
like yeah. So like the stuff that people like are like, oh, this is broken. Like we haven't seen a lot of that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Except for dwarves, but I love dwarves. So yay dwarves. More dwarves. Buy your dwarf armies, ruin people's day. Do your civic duty.
Yeah, on that note. Alright.
Alright. Thank you for listening, and I'll probably do some battle reports. I'll definitely do a post GT update about how I did, what list won, and I'm expecting the Lizardman list would win. If not, I'm probably gonna say a Warrior list, just because like I think of how deep they go and like how aggressive they are. This is a 20-0 tournament, so my opinion is it's gonna be if I had to pick the three, I'm gonna pick Gurn as number one. I'm gonna pick Warriors, either you or Rogers, number two, because I like how they play. I like how aggressive they are, and like, but for 6 games, it's kind of rough. So like, I honestly don't know. Besides that, like, honestly, that's another thing. Like, this is totally up in the air. Like, I love the fact that I can't be like, oh, this is gonna win.
I put Phil in third.
To put the dwarves in third.
He's got a lightly comped army and it's well painted.
Mm-hmm.
I got him for third overall. That's my bet.
I'm excited.
A lot of well painted cannons for a Swedish.
A lot of well painted cannons. It's amazing.
All right.
All right. Thank you for helping. See you.